Well, we've arrived at our pattern day in Lixnaw, which is 29th of September, St. Michael's Feast Day. A big day for the parish and the Holy Well, and all preparations are now complete. We're in the morning, early morning of the pattern before the two masses. One at 12 noon, which facilitates the elderly and the school children, and one again at 7:30 in the evening, which facilitates people who are working, give them a chance to come out after a day's work. So the pattern has been going on for generations in Lixnaw, but as we knew the pattern in my time, it has died out big time because no stalls or anything turn up now over the last number of years. Whereas before, you would have stalls down the village and that, and it was a big day, but things have quietened considerably over the last decades, and unfortunately that's the way things have gone. But we're lucky after the pandemic. We're back again after a 2-year absence. 2019 we were here last, and that morning it rained, so thank God this morning the sun is shining brightly and we have no complaints. Only let the crowd come and we'll be delighted. And we're very thankful to two priests who have stood in for Father O'Sullivan, who unfortunately can't be with us today, Father Tom Kearney and Father Pat Green Lynch. We're indebted to those two, and we also have Sister Evelyn and her choir back in business for the duration of the day. I'm just up the road in Ballinagirk, same townland as the well. The well had been here, well, it was originally, we'll say, decorated up and built up, the shrine to St. Michael. It was finished in 1958, started by a group of workers that time, Winter Natira. We still have one of those people with us today, Willie O'Connell. Unfortunately, the rest have gone to their eternal reward. We also have, over the years, since the 90s, we have the Lixabbey community group, workers, scheme workers, and a lot of shelters and all have been done in those years to facilitate patrons. Back in time, I mean, it was all cars now, but that time we had donkeys and cars and ponies and that, and people coming in ponying traps and all that, you know. And the old entrance to the well was down the road further. It was in by O'Brien's farmyard, and they had to walk through two fields to get to it. Whereas now we got a pathway from the landowner back in the 80s, namely Jim Sheehan, and it's state of the art to walk down there now, and very accessible for people in wheelchairs and so forth. So that's about it. And as I say, the older generation that come, they're amazed like that such work has been done over a period of time. So I was involved in community scheme myself back in 2010 to 2013, and we got a new shelter built for the extra chairs and seating, just to keep me out of the weather. So that's all to be seen. You know, there's great memories, like, but to try and say after the pandemic and our 2-kilometre run like they put on us, we're back in business today.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm good, I think.
I'm going to clear for you know the run. Here we are.
Will you lift up the box?
Will you put the work off here?
I will of course, yeah. No
Just
more.
one into the thing.
All right. What did you do here?
You're the catering committee.
She's the shop
I'm the shop.
assistant. She's shop.
And what are you selling today?
Selling off St. Michael and Eau de Pio,
Holy medals.
for the medals,
Medals
and
and
whatever.
Whatever,
There's a lot of
rosary beads and that sort of thing.
statues, St. Michael statue, and there's a lot of Eau de Pio too.
Okay. And then the cup of tea. Then everyone has a cup of tea
Everyone
afterwards, is
has
it?
a cup of tea and a biscuit or a bun or whatever. Tim Joe's wife started off with a cup of tea, so we're keeping it going in her name.
Great stuff.
When I came here with my mother, and all the old people came here, and they didn't have cars. They had donkey carts and bicycles. That's how they came here, but they were so faithful to St. Michael. Nothing stopped them. They came here, done their rounds. As a child, it used to annoy me because they're walking round and round and round. But as I got older, I appreciate what was going on.
And you mentioned earlier it looked much different to how it does now.
Oh yes, much different. There was nothing, only a hole in the ground at that time. When the Matera came and they sorted it, they've done so much work here.
And I hear that there's one of those men still alive.
There is, yes. Where is he? Willie Connell. Are you got the right side there, Anne? Willie Connell. Is that him there? That's him there.
Oh yeah, down there.
That's Willie Connell at the back.
And they did this work back in the 50s.
Yes, yes, with volunteers. The man above in the road, Tom Hennessy, he was the man that initially found the water.
He found the water.
The water, yes. They were digging down, and they eventually he found it.
But when you used to come here first, was there not a well or what was there?
There was. It used to come up at this time. The spring used to rise in September. All springs rise in September. So that used to rise. But then we have it. It would disappear again then. But then now it's there permanently because they dug down so far, as you can see. They dug down so far, and the water is there all the time now for people. All the others are gone. Lot worse than all of them. Yes, they're all gone. That was the man that put the statue of Our Lady there.
And you mentioned
Brendan
that was
Connell.
for a lost child.
A lost child, yes.
He lost one of his children.
The first child was stillborn. So that was it, and these are the different groups that came here then. Ever since, kept it going.
And is your photograph up there? The
I know, I don't think
catering
so.
committee ladies?
No, we don't like our photographs taken.
Big smiles now, girls. That's lovely.
I thought you said you only take a minute.
There's a half a minute gone already.
She cross all the time.
You mentioned that you're from
I'm from
Ballyduff.
Yeah, I'm only blowing here in Lixnaw.
And how long are you here that you're still a blowing?
2 years now.
But you're involved in the committee here for the refreshments.
And for the shop, mostly the shop I'm involved in. This is our first one after COVID, since COVID, yeah. So it's great to be back.
Is that all part of you over there?
It's our part of you, yeah. And I found some candles too.
I know we're here for St. Michael.
I know it is.
So I just mention a few people. I would like to mention the Lixnaw Community Scheme, Jimmy, Andreas and Tony, who have kept this place, as you can see, over the years. And it's a credit to them, and only for their help and motivation you wouldn't have this facility as it looks today. So a bowl of us for Paul and the Lixabbey. I would also like to thank Father Tom Kearney, who is celebrating the Mass here, local man from Hennessy, and always been with us down the years, and we're very thankful that he was able to come today and do the Mass, because Father O'Sullivan, our parish priest, is unavailable at the moment. But please God, if we're here in 12 months' time, he'll be standing in front of you. So, without further ado, I'll hand you over to Father Kearney for our celebration of Mass.
Well, why wouldn't you be well? In Lixnaw, they had a lovely fine week for the races, so why shouldn't Lixnaw and St. Michael's well have a lovely day as well? So we thank God for that and for the fine weather. So Tim Joe's given a nice welcome. I'd also like to welcome the school children and their teachers. Good that you're here after a lapse of a couple of years.
Dear Queen of Heaven, the ocean star, guide of the wanderer here below, thrown on life's surge, we crave thy care. Save us from peril and from woe. Mother of Christ, Star of the sea, pray for the wanderer, pray for me. O gentle days and spotless maid, we sinners make our prayers to thee. Remind thy Son that he has paid the price of our iniquity. Virgin most pure, Star of the sea, pray for the sinner, pray for me.
Here in Lixnaw, I suppose, what date are we?
We have the 29th day of
September.
September.
There used to be cattle fair here anyhow once a year, and it was probably, and there used to be the pattern, there should be amusements. There'd be one man inside in the battle, like,
That's right.
and he'd stick up his head, and you had something to fire at him. He'd pull the head down before
That's right.
who hit him would get a prize. But I don't know anymore. Like, about I was too young. It's much about it over the years. Is there? No. You see, the times.
It was Father Brick that got this done, was it? All this.
I had about this for before Father Brick came here.
I know, but
There was some great men here
I know
that
that.
didn't gone for years.
I know that, but that got it done up and brought it back to life.
Tim Joe would be the one that could tell you,
brought him
yeah,
back from
well, Father Brick was good, all right, like.
Yeah.
This, the police were after this man anyway, he was speeding. And, chief, when he knew they were after him, he put down the boot, like, he went faster. They caught up with him, eventually they caught up with him and they stopped him. And they said to him, why are you trying to get away from us? He said, my wife ran away with a policeman and I thought he would bring her back.
Oh, yeah.
Good up the pattern now.
Very good, very good.
In a few moments, we're going to start our proceedings with Paul reciting the Rosary. So, if you're going to have attention there, he'll be starting in, give it 5 minutes or so. Okay.
Nobody want to get now.
Grace, the Lord is with thee, blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus.
Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death.
Grace, the Lord is with thee, blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus.
Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death.
Thee, blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus.
Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death.
Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit. O my Jesus, forgive us our sins, save us from the fire of hell. Lead all souls, especially those who are voice.
Thank you all for coming, and it's lovely to see you all back again after a torrid 2 years. So I would like to thank Paul there for reciting the Rosary, and as usual, he's a very good man to do a job when he's asked to do it, like so many more of the workers around here. So without further ado, I will ask Father Pat to start proceedings and thank him for coming this evening to our Mass, and we had a lovely celebration midday with Father Tom Kearney, so I'm sure Father Pat will do the same. And thanks a lot again to you all. Lovely to see all the old faces back. So without further ado, I leave it to Father Pat and Sister to start.
Be with you. And good evening.
Good evening, Father.
And of course you can be seated now at the beginning of this Mass. And I must say I'm absolutely delighted to be here, and thanks to Tim Joe for the very warm welcome. And as I say, it's wonderful to be here with you, and I'm sure you who are regulars here are delighted to be back after the pandemic. And I imagine it's 3 years since there's been a Mass here at the Well until 12 noon today when Father Tom led a celebration. And I must say it's just fabulous being here with you, and it's a great honour to be asked to lead this celebration. I suppose the first thing that I'd have to say is that I'm just absolutely overwhelmed by the place. It's quite a few years since I've been here, several years really. I'd say you're talking of 20 years or so, maybe even more, since I was here for Mass on the Feast of St. Michael, which is a shame really, but that's the way it is, and that's the way I suppose time has gone by for me, that I haven't had the opportunity to be here, or maybe I haven't made it my business to be here, but I can't believe how developed the place is. And I suppose some of you have been here regularly, year in, year out, and you might notice it, but the place is just transformed since I saw it last. I was gobsmacked when I walked in, and obviously the credit is due to the committee and to the people of Lixnaw. You know, I'm just absolutely overwhelmed. You probably saw me snapping, taking photographs. I suppose I was saying an awful lot of things have changed. I suppose that hasn't changed, that I still like the photographs, but you know, I was just, you know, blown away by, you know, the development here with the little room there. I can see that there's tea there, I see Anne there, and just inside the entrance with the little religious items and all the seats around the place. I think when I was here last, there was just seats under and the sides, and you know, it was so much smaller, and it was like, my memory is that it was almost like a garden, that there was a lot of grass here, you know, when I was here last, and it would be very much like Weatherswell, Gail, that I was there with you the 16th of May. We had Mass there, that's in Tubred, where we believe St. Brendan was baptised, and I was at Glendahlen, and Marion was with me there, and also at Weatherswell, and Glendahlen could be a green field as well, and I was expecting something similar here, but as I say, the place is utterly transformed. It's so very, very well developed, and obviously the committee and the parish here take enormous pride in it, and the statue of St. Michael looks absolutely wonderful, and obviously painted so well, and the colouring is so beautiful on it, and you know, as I say, I just can't speak highly enough of just how beautiful the place is and how well developed it is. So I think all those responsible for it deserve a bowl of us. So to the committee and the community, but especially the committee, those who take such pride in the place.
Our lovely celebration. And all I would ask you is, when you reach the top of the road, to stay inside the barrier along with the wall. Okay? Thank you, and a safe journey all of you.
You know, I said, that's what the Daphne has a note, and you know, we don't do it. No, I won't.
Your first name again, you're nursing with Kerry. And Kira's doing you did, yeah, that's right. You want to come in with me to work with you? Already did. You must, I say so, yeah. Oh yeah, right, yeah, and you might try to, we might
You're all squeezed in, yeah?
All squeezed in.
Now.
Delighted to be here and delighted that you like to sing. You have to press it down hard now. Flash will come on, yeah.
Take another puff.
You can take it, yeah. We exclude no one. If you'd like to be into the photograph later, you'd be most welcome. Yeah.
One
Anyone
more.
can come into the photo. Yeah.
One more again.
Great stuff. Thank you.